What's up, everybody? Welcome
Happy New Year!
Another episode of Happy New Year. Why we love PlayStation VR.
Happy New Year.
This is a bonus episode. Happy New Year. You're crossing me this week and every week. We're drunk.
Brian will never let me record this late again.
No, he's punch drunk. It's Desra.
Hello.
No introduction because you already ruined it.
Yep, I did. I am Desra the Ruiner. This, of course, is Brian Paul.
Yeah, and every week it doesn't matter. The intro doesn't matter because this is our special New Year's episode.
Yeah.
And so there's a couple things we want to do during this brief. This might take longer.
It's actually kind of going back into old school. Why we like.
This is a retro format.
Yes, it is.
Why we love used to be. I talked about 3 games and Des would talk about 3 games. That was before PlayStation VR became a thing.
Yep.
And it ruined our lives.
Before we realized how much time he spent editing those 6 different games
that 100 people would watch. If you go back, literally, there are still episodes of Why We Love that only 100 people have watched
until now,
and I was 7 of those people. All right, so the first thing we want to do in celebration of the new year, is take a quick look back at 2018. Okay, and I don't have no idea what's up there. Honestly, it's gonna take forever to edit.
Just the number 2018.
Possibly. Yeah. There you go. That's what I'll say. So we've done a top 20 list. We have. And screw everyone who doesn't agree with it. But also we never gave out Game of the Year awards for 2018.
No, we didn't.
So what are our 2018 goaties?
Well, goaties. Oh, goaties, right. Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, it's a toss-up between 2, and they're both fairly recent, I guess, and that's going to be Beat Saber and Astrobot.
Sure.
I think they both bring something different to VR. They're both games that, especially Astrobot, there are so many people, even today, even in the comments on our top 20, are saying like, oh, third-person platformers don't work in VR. Then the question is always, have you played it? No. Or I've only played the demo. Well, okay. What Astrobot has shown us is that anything can work in VR pretty much, as long as it's approached with some creativity, some knowledge about the medium. And I mean, there are moments in there that are more breathtaking than just about anything else I've played in VR. Yeah, agreed. And in a similar vein, Beat Saber, okay, well, it's a rhythm game. Who cares?
Yeah, such a simple concept too. Yep. Like not even a complicated rhythm game. No, it's not a complicated rhythm, but it is so fun. It is giving you, we've talked about during the episode, you feel like a Jedi when you're playing it. Yeah. And everything, when you get, this is where you get a legitimate flow state in freaking Beat Saber. They don't, sorry. For anyone who watched our Tetris Effect episode earlier today, Des is still angry.
Yeah, I mean, and you can actually get that, and the fact that they are coming down to you in real space, and you really feel like you're there, wrapped in. It's why we play VR.
Why we love PlayStation VR.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you duct taped the move controllers back to back yet, and done a little Darth Maul action?
I have not done that yet.
I hear you can do it with just a empty toilet paper roll.
It seems a lot safer and would get less sticky stuff on the moves.
Yeah, I'm curious to know just how solid that is, though. You start spinning around, move controllers go flying. Craziness. But you got to pick one. I'll give you a second while I talk about mine.
Yeah.
All right. Mine is, and this is why...
Astrobot.
I like it.
You gave me a second.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Astrobot is a great choice. Either one would have been a great choice, but man, Astrobot is definitely something special.
Yeah, I think that's the one that everyone has to have.
Without the music, I would have been like, it's a 2. No, I'm just kidding. Astrobot's music for me solidifies the entire experience. Yeah. I'm just like, man, why can't I stop smiling when I play this game? Such an amazing experience for anyone who hasn't tried it yet. But for me, my game of the year for PlayStation VR, and this might come as a shock to some of you, especially after watching the top 20 list, Firewall 0 Hour. Okay. As much as I might claim to love other games more, the game that pulled me back over and over and over again, it wasn't Beat Saber. Every single time a new game or a new song comes out for Beat Saber, I'm not rushing to my PlayStation VR and going,
I am. Yeah.
Right? but not with like the fever that that. Fever, is that the right word? Anyway, but also Tetris Effect, a game that I did love. Yeah. I'm like, man, I love Tetris, and in VR it's even better. But these are the games that I thought were going to pull me back over and over and over, and nothing pulled me back over and over and over. Like a game I wasn't even excited for. Yeah. Firewall 0 Hour. All right. Firewall is it does everything I don't like in video games. It makes me play with other people. Yes. Right. It makes me play with 7 other people, 3 on my team. And it makes me communicate, which I'm really bad at doing. Yeah. Right? For a guy who hosts multiple podcasts every week, I'm really bad at communicating. in our new top 20 list, we do one every 3 months.
Yeah.
This is the first time that like a majority of the list has come from the last 3 months.
Yeah,
you know, there were
absolutely.
so many new entries that weren't there 3 months ago. It's kind of refreshing. It's good to say, hey, you know, we're not relying on the same games over and over and over.
Right.
New ones, new amazing experiences are coming out all the time.
And not only that, the level of finish and understanding of the console has increased, so that like games that were previously favorites are showing their age.
Yeah.
You know, already. And it's just like, yeah.
All right. So but what we want to do during this episode is quickly, we don't have, we don't have a ton of time to do this. We want to blast through 3 games apiece, 6 games total, that we're looking forward to in 2019. Now, the issue with episodes like this is that we haven't played the games because they're not out yet.
Well, sure.
So and there's actually even a demo for one that on my list that I haven't played.
Okay.
So like I've done as little research for this episode as possible.
Nice.
Nice. Happy New Year's, everybody. This is how 2019 is going to go without Parole. So why don't you get us started and we'll talk about some games that we're interested in.
Well, I'm talking about a game that we've actually seen a lot about. It was a big discussion point at E3 last year, and that's Ghost Giant. Everything in the environment.
Nice.
Pull the doors off of apartments and look at and see what's happening in there. It will pass the Brian Paul test. Can I pick things up and throw them? Yes. Yes, you can. So it looks adorable. Everything we've seen, this shows a lot of promise. I'm very excited for it.
So my issue with that game and at least one on my list is we don't really know what the moment-to-moment gameplay is going to be.
No, we don't.
Right? Like, is this like little computer people for? Oh, Jesus! What a reference that is. when most of what you're doing is just watching and and you're fiddling with stuff in the environment while you wait for things to play out. Man, little computer people would be awesome in VR. So I just derailed everyone. There are a bunch of. I know there are a few Commodore 64 fans.
Yeah.
Right. There are definitely a few out there.
Yeah.
And man, that would be awesome.
So we really don't have a lot of solid information.
Yeah.
We just have some good-looking gameplay trailers.
Did they say when in 2019?
No.
Okay.
That is still a big question. So,
all right.
We know. So, but that's my first pick.
Well, then moving on to again a game that I don't really know much about. This is Falcon Age.
Yeah.
Now, Falcon Age is developed by Outer Loop Games and has a pretty ambiguous release date of 2019. We don't have any idea more specific than that. But Outer Loop Games, what we talked about recently on the Dino Frontier episode, these are the developers of Dino Frontier and Wayward Sky, who left Uber Entertainment and basically formed their own development studio and now making Falcon Age. What I love about Falcon Age so far,
the Falcon,
is everything, right? Because because what they're saying is that this is a game that was developed for PlayStation VR, even though you can play outside of VR.
Yeah,
and it was developed with Move support, even though you can play with the DualShock 4. I love both of those things because they said, you know what? Here's how we want you to play the game.
Right.
But we're giving you the option.
Yes.
Which I want to hear so much more of this in 2019. I want people to be like, hey, this is how we designed it. But you know what? If you want to just kick back on your couch and play with the DualShock 4 on a flat screen television, then by all means go do that. But man, I'm so excited because what it looks like is most of this is taking place in first person.
Right.
And 2 move controllers means that in one arm you've got a falcon that's sitting there, right? And it's just so cool. You pet the little thing, it's just adorable. And you send it off and you make it do things. And on the other hand, you're interacting with the environment, picking things up and doing things. Now, again, just like Ghost Giant, we don't really know the moment-to-moment gameplay.
No, we don't.
And what I'm curious about is that unlike Wayward Sky and unlike Dino Frontier, this seems to be a game where you move around the environment in first person. Seems to be.
Seems to be.
I hope it is, right? Because we've talked to the developer before, and the creative director has said before that he suffers from motion sickness and that he makes games that are playable for everyone.
Right.
Now we've seen that games like Firewall and certain other first-person games don't really affect people in VR. They don't make people motion sick. So maybe Outer Loop Games also discovered the magical formula.
Let's hope so.
To be able to play a game like this and not make anyone motion sick.
Would that be a deal breaker for you if you found out that it was actually it's just a vignette? You pop into this place and then make the bird do stuff and then pop into another place.
It's not a deal breaker for me, but what it is makes me less interested in the game.
Okay, fair enough.
I as long as we've said this over and over.
Yeah.
Our expectations are pretty meaningless as long as what they deliver is awesome,
Yep.
then I'm going to be very, very happy.
And I think with everything else we've seen from them, we know whatever it does come out is going to be polished and it's going to work.
Yeah. And just a brief description of what they're actually saying. They're saying the game starts on a dying colony planet that's been turned into desert by machine invaders, with its culture destroyed and resources depleted. You play as Ara, who's been wrongfully thrown in jail for minor infractions. You befriend a young falcon while you wait your sentencing, and they set off on an adventure to help reclaim the freedom and drive off the invaders. You learn to hunt, gather, and fight to reclaim your cultural legacy in the lost art of falcon hunting against a force of automated colonizers.
Ooh.
Everything about that description sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for this.
Robots versus birds. I'm on.
All right. You're up, Asia.
All right. So my next one is it's actually something that I was partially interested before, but now that I'm thinking about it more, I think it's going to be super important for the platform, and that, of course, is Dreams.
Yes.
By Media Molecule. This is a game that, when it was first announced, they said, "Oh, we'll eventually have a patch that'll add PSVR support."
First announced back in 2001.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But now it's they're saying it's going to have launch day support for PSVR, and not just you can watch some things in PSVR, but you can actually design and make your own games, make your own experiences.
They are still saying. No, I don't think they've actually confirmed full support though. So we do need to be very cautious with our expectations.
But you will be able to do create things in VR in there. Maybe not as fully formed as the full game. Absolutely. Yeah. The reason I think this is so important is because developing in VR is hard. Developing games in general is hard. Understanding how to use Unity is difficult. But this, if the promises they're making come to fruition, this will give anyone who's got this hardware the ability to start making their own experiences in VR. Yeah. And that can only be good. Because even if it's even if you can only trade and swap those experiences between other players, you're still going to get a chance to see just the creativity that will be allowed with instead of a few, let's say 100 or a few thousand developers that are out there. If you have 1 million people all coming up with ideas, 98% of them are going to be crap, but there's going to be some people who come up with these just out of the box solutions and ideas, and I just think it's going to help grow the creativity of VR in general, but PSVR specifically.
Yeah. I gotta say when same developers, Media Molecule, when they released Little Big Planet and Little Big Planet 2, and basically said, hey, here are these creation tools, go have fun. Yeah. The creation tools themselves were for side-scrolling platform games like Little Big Planet was. Yeah. And the amount of first-person shooters and all sorts of different games that came out of that, people made movies, and so now that they've given us the tools to make anything we want, and every single interview goes the exact same way with Media Molecule, right? It's it's a bunch of people saying, "Can you do this? Yes. Can you do this? Yep. Yes. Can you do this? Yes." And every single thing that I've ever heard them ask to say, the answer is always yes. And so, it seems almost too good to be true. It seems like this complete freedom to design whatever it is that you want. So all the people who were designing games for Little Big Planet 2's engine, are now have even more freedom to create anything, and I'm so excited to see what people come up with. I have no desire to make my own game. Because I just don't have time or the willpower, or the energy, or creativity anymore. I'm not a kid. And I just want to see the millions of creations that people come up with.
And if you watch, there is footage available of watching people kind of using the Dreams engine, and it's super easy, and it's not like you have to just. Because, in normal programming, you have to write your program, you have to compile it, and then you can watch it run and then see all the problems. This is you're playing, and then you can kind of stop and then pull up the thing and change the engine and change the world around you, and then keep playing it. So you're playing it as you're creating it in real time on the fly. It's just...
It seems almost too good to be true.
Yeah. And probably is. But...
Probably is.
So that is one of mine. It's weird. I think I'm the same way. I'm not going to have time to sit there and spend this. I'm more excited about this to see what the community does with the tools.
There better be some GameCat games out there.
Oh my god!
I want. All right, next up, this game's called Kill X from Viva Games. Now, this is interesting. It's coming out spring 2019. There is a demo out there on, I want to say, the Chinese PlayStation Store.
Okay.
It's like Chinese New Year, man. We have no idea when that is. But it's one of the very few regions that I don't have an account for, and I just don't feel like making one. I totally could have made an account and played the demo, but here's the thing. I'm very interested in this game, and when I'm really interested in a game, I like to go on media blackout. Right? I watch the trailer, and I don't want to watch anything else until the game comes out. I'm super excited for this because although Viva Games doesn't really have any kind of reputation, they've made one game that I'm aware of so far, and we're still waiting for it to come to PlayStation VR. Ooh. It came to Xbox One, flat screen, obviously.
Okay.
But it's coming soon to PS4 and PSVR, and Switch too, I believe. It's kind of like a horror themed escape room game, which, I mean, my favorite kind of escape games. Guys is like, dude, we don't have enough of those.
Yeah.
So that game's called Your Toy, but this game that they're also making is called Kill X. Now, to me, from what I've seen of Kill X, it kind of looks like Resident Evil 5, but in VR.
Okay.
Right? So a little more action-oriented.
Yeah.
It's got these designs. The monster designs seem very Brookhaven experiment.
Is that the one with like quick time events all the time?
Yeah, it was. Okay. Yeah, like Resident Evil 4 started that, I think, and then Resident Evil 5, really went full swing into quick time events, like very heavy into the action, and minimal puzzle solving. It's fine, and I think if somebody said, Brian, your least favorite Resident Evil game, Resident Evil 5, well, we put that into VR, and you get to play it on PlayStation VR, I'd go, you know what? I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm totally down, and I kind of feel like that's what this game is.
Okay.
It's a little bit Resident Evil 5, it's a little Brookhaven, and in fact, they keep touting, with total 360-degree freedom of movement. I'm like, all right,
no.
we get it. It's full locomotion, right?
Right.
So that's cool.
Because you can't actually do that in PSVR. Y'all know that, right?
What's that?
Total 360, because eventually you turn around and it sees the back.
I was saying, no, your character's freedom of movement.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're talking about, a little bit of stealth. You can go in guns blazing, the whole thing. I'm just like kind of paraphrasing as I look over this. But like I said, it looks like Resident Evil 5 combined with Brookhaven experiment, and that's kind of everything that I want.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know. I like scary things, and I like VR, and I feel like keep bringing those things to us. And I don't have much else to say about this. Spring 2019, they just announced it's coming spring 2019, just before Christmas, and I'm super excited that we're finally going to get to play this game.
So my next one was a game that was one of my most anticipated of 2018, but has been pushed back to 2019, and that's Vacation Simulator. Yeah, Alchemy Labs. Of course, they made the original Job Simulator. They made the Rick and Morty game, which I was going to say I had mixed feelings about, but I don't have mixed feelings about. It was don't buy it. But that's not because it was poorly made.
Good.
But I mean, there's some. Let's call them design choices.
People want to know.
Yeah.
How cheap does Rick and Morty have to be for you to recommend it? Because it launched at $30.
I would say $5. I mean, I think there might be more than $5 of game there, but it's not really well implemented. So,
as somebody who's only a mild Rick and Morty fan, I'm going to say $10.
Yeah, if you're not a Rick and Morty fan, there is no reason to buy that game at all.
Yeah.
But we're talking about positive things. We're talking about Vacation Simulator, and this is actually the game I had in mind when I was talking about games we love that are now showing their age. When the original Job Simulator came out, this was my windmill slam. This is the game you need to keep in your house to let people play the first time they play VR. And we've gotten many more experiences that have gotten much more complicated, much more complex. I still absolutely stand by this is a great, Job Simulator, great VR game. The sense of humor is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
It is really, really fun to sit there and throw things around. But we've really progressed a lot in the past 2 years. I mean, the amount of depth possible in the games. And from what it sounds like, from watching the trailers, from reading interviews with the developers, they've took those lessons to heart. And this is going to be a much larger game, maybe even some story-driven elements, which was kind of blew my mind. And actually, I got a quote from studio director Autumn Taylor. The world of Vacation Simulator is shaping up to be an incredible one, unlike any we've created before. So if they can keep that same kind of quirky sense of humor from some of the trailers they do, but also add some of the complexity, they're even talking about being able to, like people with phones that have AR capabilities, being able to look at the world that you are playing while you're playing it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm very excited to see what one of the first generation of VR games, with that pedigree, to see what they can do now they've got a couple years under their belt.
The thing that got me was they were pushing the avatar creation system on this
Yes.
game,
Yeah.
and the thing about that, I was like, what? Who the hell cares, right? Like, I mean, first of all, like avatar creation is very commonplace.
Yeah.
But then I started realizing, like, they were talking about vacations being a thing where you take a lot of photographs, and so they're like, yeah, you can take selfies, you can take pictures of everything that's going on, and so it's actually your avatar is sort of important in this, unlike Job Simulator, where like you never even really saw who you were.
And not only that, I've seen some other stuff. I don't know if they're implementing this in Vacation Simulator specifically, but it's something they have done on the PC version of Job Simulator, where you can actually record, like set up a virtual camera and record what you're doing in the game. And basically, they're talking about like creating talk shows or creating content like that.
Nice.
with your avatar. So if that kind of stuff is there as well,
That would be really cool.
yeah. You being able to customize your avatar, of course, would be very important in that case.
The next game I want to talk about is strangely probably one of my most anticipated 2019 games. And
This kind of threw me. I'm
despite-
curious.
Despite the fact that it's really none of the genres that I'm usually interested in. It's Everybody's Golf by Clap Hands, and they are saying spring 2019. So here's the thing. Mm-hmm. In general, I don't like sports games. So when a game that is a sports game, reels me in, and I'm super into it, it means that they've done something really right.
Yeah.
Clap Hands, I think initially Camelot Games, but later Clap Hands, they've always made Everybody's Golf, aka Hot Shots Golf.
Yeah.
And they've done this awesome job of blurring the line between simulation and arcade, because you look at this game and you're like, wow, what a goofy. Or you look at Everybody's Golf proper, which is on PS4. You look at it and you're like, wow, what a goofy like cartoon game. Like, it's probably just all arcade and whatever. But there's this blurred line where like it's very technical, and you have to take in all of the specifics. There's anything you can think about, any Tiger Woods game that ever came out, any EA game that did golf. I promise you that Hot Shots Golf, it goes almost nearly as in depth with all the technicalities. You can play the game and just tap X button and hit the ball and hopefully you get it in the hole.
Yeah.
But man, you can slice the ball. You can put backspin on it. It does lean into the arcade element where you can put like super backspin and like this other thing where if it hits the pin then it like flies up and then shoots down into the hole. And there's like all these cool practically NBA Jam effects going on.
Yeah.
But man, it's a technical game and it feels great because it never takes itself seriously enough where like you're not having fun.
Right.
But it takes itself seriously enough where you're like, man, I won that game because I was the most skillful player.
So somewhere between Mario Golf and Tiger Woods.
Exactly. Right between those two games lies Hot Shots Golf, or Everybody's Golf. And I will say I've put hundreds of hours into Everybody's Golf because we bought it for my dad.
Okay.
And every week we play at least a full 18 holes.
Now, I love the idea of like your dad getting a headset, you getting a headset, and actually would multiplayer be a thing? Like being on the links at the same time?
So just like Tetris Effect before it.
Yeah.
There's some downsides here.
Yeah.
Everybody's Golf VR is not an extension of Everybody's Golf proper.
Okay.
This is a brand new VR game.
Its own thing.
Yeah, which I was a little surprised when Everybody's Golf first came out in August 2017.
Yeah.
I was like, man, like what is going on? Why aren't we hearing anything about VR support? This is a Sony game, like the Sony published game.
Right.
It should come out with VR support. And the fact is, it just never happened. And then when we get the announcement that it was going to be a separate game, I was like, well, that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
Now, single player only drives me insane because as a golf game, right, more so than Tetris Effect, more so than Borderlands, more so than any other game that we've complained about, no multiplayer. Golf is a multiplayer game.
Right.
You can go hit the links yourself,
Yep.
but there's something missing, right? So I'm obviously there's AI, opponents and stuff,
It's
but
not
like
the same.
it's not the same, So I want to sit in VR and play with this with my dad.
Right.
So there's none of that. But according to them, they're saying you're going to be able to tell instead of a bunch of like things up on the HUD, all these stats and everything like you rely on the non VR version. You're going to be able to tell the lay of the land, like the slope of the greens. You're going to be able to tell the wind.
Well, because you'll actually be able to see it.
I mean, you won't be able to feel it.
Well, no, I mean not the wind, but
the trees.
But the lay of the land, the slope of the hills, and
Yeah.
things. Like, you'll be able to actually see that.
Right, absolutely, and I hope I can still turn the grid on because I really rely on that grid. But here's what I'm most concerned about.
Okay.
I'm totally cool. Like, I mean, I know a lot of people are like, I refuse to play a VR game unless it has move support. Well, this has Move support and DualShock 4 support, but according to what we've heard so far, it doesn't matter which one you're using. You're swinging a golf club. Like, you're not tapping the button 3 times like you are in Everybody's Golf.
Oh.
Like, you are swinging.
So you're swinging the DualShock?
Well, I mean, like a golf club.
Oh.
You know?
Okay.
So this.
Are they going to sell a wrist strap for it?
I don't know. I don't like the sound. I really hope that this is implemented well, because when they implemented, and I know we shouldn't compare these things, but when they implemented Move support later on to Hot Shots Golf on PS3 out of bounds, bad.
Oh yeah.
Bad. Like, it didn't work at all. We know that the Move technology has improved significantly since then, but still I'm very concerned, because I'm like, that is a wide range of movement. First, when you're swinging a golf club, and second, there's only that tiny little light on the front of the DualShock 4. Right. I'm like, that's not going to track very well.
No.
I hope that they put an option in for the three button click.
You know what I'm thinking?
Yeah,
I'm thinking there is a controller that does have a long kind of shaft-like body to it. Of course, that's the aim. Can we get aim support?
I'm still stuck on a long shaft.
Yeah, that was another one of those, like, should bail. Do not finish the sentence. No, that happened.
You're right. There's so often we talk about aim support for games that don't actually need it. This might be one.
Yeah, because you could actually hold it with both hands.
Could you though? Could you hold it where it needs to be held properly? I don't know.
I'm not a golfer.
I'm not a golfer.
Don't golfers have 2 triggers?
You're up, Asia.
Oh,
You have one more? Oh no, you started this.
Yeah, I started
that
this.
Was it.
Oh, okay.
Holy crap, that episode went way
I got to come up with
expected.
something really quick.
That's it. Those are all the games we're excited for. No, that's not true at all.
Yeah.
These are just 6 of the games we kind of pulled out of a hat. Contagion VR Outbreak.
I'd like Gollum to happen.
Golem.
Yeah,
we won't get sued.
Yeah.
Also, Blood and Truth. I know everyone's excited for.
I want to see it.
Other people are excited for it. We're cautiously optimistic. There are so many, but there are so many games in DLC for 18 floors coming out in 2019, and a lot of them are coming out. So many of the release dates are spring 2019. So I mean, this is pretty early on. The front of the year is pretty heavily loaded.
And there's also games that we probably haven't even heard rumors about yet.
Probably,
yeah.
I think the most exciting part of 2019 are the things we don't know about yet. So that's it.
Double Fine. I'm looking at you.
Who?
Double Fine.
Oh yeah, you think Psychonauts 2 could be a thing?
I wish anything, man.
Anything from Tim Schafer will happily take. Rhombus of Ruin Part 2.
Absolutely.
Actually, yeah, that sounds fantastic.
Yep.
All right, guys, Happy New Year. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Hopefully you're all being safe and having fun. But if they're watching this at midnight, you're probably home and doing very little. like me. I got home from the restaurant hours ago, and I'm just chilling out watching Netflix, hopefully sleeping.
Let's see if this hits at midnight.
You're still going to be doing.
I'm still at the restaurant.
Yeah, okay. All right, guys. Again, Happy New Year. Thank you so much for such an awesome year and for hanging out with us and being awesome game cats. And I mean, I wish I drank, because then I'd toast to 2019.
Feliz cumpleaños. Oh, wait, that's happy birthday. God damn it.
For another episode of Why We Love PlayStation VR, I'm Brian Paul.
I'm Desra.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.